Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the Benyar BY-5152, the homage to the Longines Hydroconquest. Let's start out with the wrist check. I'm wearing my Pagani Design PD-SY005 homage to the Omega Seamaster 300. And Grego is wearing my Benyar BY-5179 homage to the Tudor Black Bay. I asked Grego if he saw the lunar eclipse the other day. He said he was out shopping and he saw the total eclipse at Walmart. Then he said, "Turn around, Frog Eyes." Here's the watch. Comes in your typical Benyar box, complete with magnet clasp. Not a good idea to put an automatic watch in a box with a magnet, but that's what Benyar does. It's kind of inaccurate to call this an actual homage to the Hydroconquest, and rather sufficient to say it was inspired by it and bears a passing resemblance, maybe a distant cousin. I am by no means a Benyar hater, having reviewed many of Benyar on my channel. They are actually not bad watches considering their price point. My review of their Black Bay homage, the one Greg was wearing, remains one of the most viewed reviews I've ever done. Sure, you have to accept the fact that they say solid stainless steel on the case backs, despite the fact that their cases are clearly a chrome-plated alloy. But I'm okay with that. But I must admit I was a bit disappointed when I unboxed it, as it was kind of meh in the looks department. I had just reviewed the Longines, which is clearly a step above this Benyar. But at under $40, this is less than half the price. For the price, I honestly thought it was a quartz watch when I ordered it. The watch is 40.3 millimeters at the bezel, and the bezel does overhang the case a little bit. The AliExpress ad said it was 44 millimeters, so that's quite a big difference between the ad and the actual dimensions. It's 48.4 millimeters lug to lug with inverted end links, 13.7 millimeters thick, has a 20 millimeter lug width, and weighs 134 grams with 2 links removed. The bezel is a 60-click unidirectional with nice clicks, but a ton of backplay. Look at all that. Lots of backplay. And it also, here, let me line it up first. It has a pretty good wobble here when you press on the bottom. You don't really feel it when you press on the top, but when you press at the bottom, you really feel the wobble. Also, it doesn't line up very well, but since it so much back play, you can kind of make it line up just by playing with it. The aluminum insert does not share the same appearance as the Longines and just looks cheap. I was really disappointed with the insert. Here, let me show you the other Benyar that I have, the Black Bay 58 homage. And look at the two different bezel inserts. Can you just see the difference? The Black Bay bezel insert just looks so much nicer than the one on this Longines homage. The blue dial has a nice sunburst effect. It has the Benyar name and logo printed on top, and then it has the word automatic on the bottom. It does not give the depth rating because it just is the basic 30 meters of water resistance, and I guess they just didn't want to brag about that. It has applied indices as well as a 6 o'clock and a 12 o'clock. It does not have the 9 o'clock like the actual Longines has. I wonder why they didn't do that. All they had to do was take a 6 and turn it upside down. It has a bordered date with no cyclops. And then it has pencil hands and a lollipop second hand. And it doesn't have that diamond shape inside the hour hand like the Longines does. The unsigned crown is a push-pull. The crown guards do kind of get in the way when you want to wind it. The crystal is hardened mineral glass. You're not going to find sapphire on a watch under $40, that's for sure. The case is a chrome-plated alloy, despite the fact that it says stainless steel on the case back. At least it doesn't say all stainless steel like a lot of Benyars do. The screw-down case back is a display case back, And then it shows the movement, and it shows the rotor, and the rotor is decorated with the Benyar logo. The specs of the watch do not mention the movement. I had assumed it is the same one used in both the Explorer and Milgauss homages that I reviewed, the G266Z, but those watches didn't hack, and this one does, see? See, it hacks. I looked at the movement very closely with my loupe, and I could find no markings. And there's nothing in the AliExpress ad or specs that say what it is, so I do not know. Let me show you the movement up close. Maybe somebody who knows more about watch movements can identify it. Once again, there are no markings. This is a 3 Hertz movement that hand winds. However, the rotor is unidirectional and you can really hear it. The movement is fairly accurate, if not exactly consistent. I get all kinds of accuracy ratings, so there's no sense of showing you a time graph. It seems to have gained a few seconds since when I last set it yesterday, so it is fairly accurate. However, I do have a complaint. When the second hand gets to about the 12 o'clock mark, look at it. It just starts jumping all over the place, see? So I don't know if there's a bad gear in the movement or what the case is. It doesn't seem to affect the accuracy. It just is kind of a little annoying complaint. So I would imagine if there is a bad gear in the movement's going to fail eventually. The bracelet has inverted hollow end links. The links of the bracelet are all single links that are meant to look like a 3-link. And it's got polished center links. It has push pin adjusters and not screw pins. But they come out really easily and they stay in nice too, so it's kind of convenient. If you need to take a link in or out, it's really easy to use a tool such as one of these push pin removers. I really recommend one of these tools if you don't have one. I've always liked these links on these Benyars, thinking they're not bad considering the price, and they're comfortable, and they have a good feel to them. They don't feel as cheap as they are. However, the stamp clasp is another issue altogether. These are standard on all Benyars, and they're really plain, and there's no micro adjust. They do the job, but a steel bracelet should have micro adjust. Because right now I'm wearing this just a hair too tight, and if I put a link back in, though, it'd be way too loose. So I'm forced to wear it a little tight. At least the clasp is easy to change. So if you want a better clasp for it, you can order one at AliExpress. You'll need an 18mm clasp if you do order one. Here's the watch on my 7.5-inch wrist. It wears pretty nice. You see a little gap around the lugs. It is a pretty thick watch for its size, but it still feels good. But once again, like I said, it's just a hair tight. I wish there was a micro adjust. I could just let it out just a little bit, but if I put another link in, it'll be way too loose. I'm not going to show you the watch on any other straps, because what's really the point? Here we are in the loom room. There's no sense doing a side-by-side or a speed up. I'll just show you the loom. As we turn off the lights, you can see the hand loom isn't that bad considering, but the 6 and the 12 o'clock numbers are fading very fast. Plus the index loom and the loom pip isn't much better, but at least the hand loom's pretty good. What do I like about this watch? Well, you're getting an automatic watch for under $40. That's a pretty good deal, really. You're even getting a movement that hacks. And I always like these Benyar bracelets. They're pretty nice bracelets for the money. I like the dial. I think the dial has a nice sunburst effect. And it looks nice even though it's missing the 9 o'clock. What are my gripes and groans? Well, it's a 40mm watch even though the ad says 44mm. That's a pretty big discrepancy. And I don't like the fact that the movement makes the second hand jump all over the place when it's between 12 and 15. And the watch doesn't look that much like the watch it is trying to homage. It doesn't have the diamond on the hour hand. It doesn't have the 9 o'clock. The font on the bezel is all wrong. So it kind of looks like a Longines Hydroconquest, but not really. Then I have the standard Benyar complaints. You got a chrome plated case and a clasp with no micro adjust. Those are never going to change. Do I recommend this watch? Well, no. This watch is kind of meh. I did not enjoy wearing it for the review, and I'm glad that the review's over so I can wear something else. It kind of looks like a Hydroconquest, but not enough to care. It's a bit boring and just not a fun watch. But if you like the looks of this watch, then you'll be okay with it. Like, once again, it's under $40. But if you want something that looks like a Hydroconquest, I'd spend the extra money for the Longines, or I have a Pagani design that I'm going to review soon too, and I think you'd be better off with that. Well, thank you for watching my review, and I will be back with another review or unboxing. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel. Bye.